Ladies, gentlemen, punters, welcome back once again to the Asian Roller Games, the 18th Asian Roller Games we're seeing here and witnessing this afternoon. A fantastic broadcast that's been brought to you by Drew Media in association with Roller Hockey Australia and our name partner for this event, Joss Sport. We're just getting the images coming through now on the interweb, seeing the New Zealand team there in a bit of a huddle at this point in time. Referees just moving out to the floor, as you can see left of screen there at the moment. It's been good getting a look at the New Zealand team warming up. Recognises some familiar faces there from the Trans-Tasman earlier in the year. Just to quickly recap on events so far in this Asian Games. First day, Saturday, Chinese Taipei went down 7-4 in the Australian onslaught. Sunday, we saw the fight against Japan 4-1. Monday against India was 5-1. Monday night, I should say, 17-0 with China. How the absolute death match that was on last night, exciting game, 3-3 that finished in a penalty shootout, which will only go towards a playoff at the end and see who's on points. And fantastic effort against Macau, and we're seeing this epic battle against New Zealand here this morning. The boys lining up on the floor at the moment, ready for the salute. And we're really excited about this one. We'll talk about the further on effects of Australia winning this game later on in the broadcast. But we're just getting us in position now. Australia and New Zealanders are saluting the crowd that's there. Players shaking hands, of course. Traditional thing that we do at roller hockey here. Great camaraderie in this sport. Absolute fighting to the nail on the floor, but good mates off the floor. Particularly with the New Zealanders as well, just across the Tasman. Great partners in roller hockey, great partners in life, these guys. The New Zealanders are, if they're not in front of the Australians, they're always just that little bit behind, nipping at the heels of the Australians. It's Australia, New Zealand, Australia. It's always a great battle, no matter what code of sport it is. But, we're seeing here the fantastic battle that's going to go on in the roller hockey circles this morning, I should say. And at the final round of the 18th Asian Roller Games, brought to you Drew Media, Roller Hockey Australia and Joss Sport. And we're really looking forward to this game, as we've been talking about earlier in the broadcast. And New Zealand have been rebuilding themselves. They're refocusing on the international arena and trying to get themselves higher up in the rankings. Australia have been doing the same for a number of years now. They've been doing lots of development work in the junior grades. And New Zealand have decided to follow suit too, just a little bit behind the program. As far as Australia starting up earlier this year, but New Zealand are definitely going to be the international story. New Zealand will get the hit on. In position over when we start playing fairness minutes. Pushing up a lot hard for a centre line, but New Zealand a little bit more space. They know how these guys play. Not really sure what's going on at the moment. Ken in the corner is doing who's doing goal on the corner, doing good locations there. Got to get over the line to take a drop away from the ball, but the ball is going to probably end up in the corner. We've got Lee Glass in the cage, so it gets today's down. Final round of this 18th Asian Roller Games. So this is good to set him up well. Carl having really good players. Murray having a second play. It's up on New Zealand. Australia still in position. Murray passing down the line. There's Pogba. What's the other side of the field? Here we go with this. There's his top Owen coming through. Pogba. Again, having a bit of another look. Passing off Pablo. Seeing Murray passing off front four. Australians testing out the New Zealanders on their defence. Poblet having a bit of a look, passing off to Murray once more. Having a bit of a go. He's always gone around, he's going to go in, he's going to have a look. He's going to try and get the shot off. He makes an attempt. Can't get it through. Australia keeps possession of the ball. Pablo chasing hard, drifting in no man at the moment. New Zealand chasing hard. New Zealand picks up on the front for that one. Pablo just slowly back into position at the moment. New Zealand's got to bring the ball forward. First position, 10 seconds, got to be over the line. New Zealand easily doing that. Goes up against ball, passes back to his man on the line. It's a slap shot. Too much coverage there from Australia. Bowen picks it up, passes to Pablo. Across the other side of that's it. Looks like it's Murray. He's going to have a go. There's the 1-2 set up in front of the cage. Doesn't come off for Australia. You see them get up behind the cage. Get forward once more. A bit of a fumble there from New Zealand. Decide to go down the wall, trying to bypass the Australian player. Australia, Pablo comes out on top in that tussle there. Pablo having a bit of a look down the floor. He's charging down, decides to go wide. Passes back to his man on the close to the line. Bowen tries to find out how to go. Can't see what's going on there. New Zealand pick it up behind the cage. Long pass there. Murray tried to intercept that one. Pablo providing much interference. Straight up behind the cage. Coming through Poplet. Long pass there to the centre line. It's like Murray is coming in. Goes down the wall. He's down jammed into the corner at the moment. Trying to pull it out. Gets it back to that centre line position. He's stepped a little bit deep. Poplet. You see, let's look up Murray. He's intercepted that one, turning around, having a look. Where's he going? He's indicating. Looks like it could be Bowen actually. The image is a little bit jerky on screen here in the Melbourne studio. Poblet's on the ball. Looks like it's Murray from the centre circle back to Poblet. Skating around. He's having a little look. Can he get the road in? No, he can't. Looking for the referee's whistle. You can hear it in the background at the moment. Image has been caught up here in the Melbourne studio. Referee is calling. There's a kick ball situation. The ball will be put back in the cage once more. Australia to take it. James Murray there. Oh, I stand corrected. It's a penalty shot. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. We'll need some further adjudication on. Obviously, there's a penalty shootout going on here. James Murray to take the shot for Australia. Surprised at that one. It seems a very innocuous type decision going on there. We are struggling with the... This shot up top. Bound off the keeper. Murray chasing hard. Can he get a position in front of the cage? Man to pass to. No, he decides to go long up against the wall. Pablo passing back further. It's like the Bowen. What I can see at the moment of the injuries. Just slowing down a bit of receive. Passes in front of the cage to the man. Pablo, different more pass there. Has a slap shot at the cage. Interference from New Zealand. Picked up in front of the goals. Scooting around the back of the cage from New Zealand. Who are we seeing on the floor there? Can't quite tell in the distance. But New Zealand passing down the wall into the corner. That one. He could be struggling to find space to get out there. The cage being moved out of position at the moment. The referees will be seeing that and will be putting it back into position, as we're seeing right now. This is one of the Australian players there. Lee Glass in the cage for Australia today. Nice to see Lee in the cage. They've been carrying that role there with Reece Lee, doing a fantastic job. Both keepers have been. Doing very well, and it certainly was proud for the Australians. Doing well. New Zealand still have the ball at the moment. Trying to put pressure on the Australians. Doing that figure eight manoeuvre. I'm pleased. There's a bit of going on there. Who's won out in that one? There's a bit of a stumble there. Australia has to go at the cage. Can't get it off. And seeing that injuries come up the screen now. New Zealand in defence. Being Bowen front screen at the moment. He's having a look. What's he going to do? Is he going to charge in? He's going to try and get around. There's the sneaky pass. There was the man. Pablo just couldn't get a clean stick on it. Poblet passing it back. Australia skating into the further reaches there of the barrier. They're scooting around the back of the cage. It's easily picked up by Australia. Kevin Bowen on the ball at the minute. Turns on. So he's going to try and have a dribble around the New Zealand players, but he can't get first. Can't get a good shot at goal. Passes off to Pablo. Pablo's having another look himself. Decides to go defensive and goes back to Murray. Bowen having another charge that no passed off to Pablo. Just having what the Australian team could work. Murray. So these images trying to catch up. And who's wind up and let's look like Pablo's having a shot at the cage. New Zealand picking up the ball at the moment. Down into the rear defensive deep. Long pass there. Picks up the player cleanly. It's passed it back. I decided to go in. That's intercepted by Pablo. Down the line at the moment, as I can see. He's only one in front. There's the pass to the man for Australia. Front the rack in the cage. How are the referees seeing? It's play on. There's the ball. No man's man. Players chasing up at the moment. New Zealand there's only one Australian throwing at the minute, but they're stuck in the corner, New Zealand. They're trying to dig it out. They've gone back to the midfield position, back into the corner, skating back into offensive move, passes long in the circle. Caden Murray was going to come in and have a go, passes off to the man that's wide, skating backwards in the defensive move. Bedford. They're also having a look at passes back to Murray. More New Zealand. which is Murray intercepting on that one in the corner. Looking for the pass out to Poblet. Poblet having to escape and decides he's going to go into the mess of the New Zealanders. And he not providing any dividends there at the moment from the Australian camp. He's putting amazing pressure onto the New Zealanders at the moment. Murray picking it up from the back of the cage at the moment. I can see the entrance here. Skating forward with it, just taking their time, trying to set themselves to get the play going. New Zealand stick the ball, working hard. Poblet putting pressure on the New Zealander at the moment. Who's coming out on top of that one? Australia. He has shot at the cage. I can hear the referee's whistle waiting for the images to catch up at the moment. Is it a goal for Australia? We're seeing a goal, yes. Yes, it is a fantastic goal there for Australia. Pablo comes in, winds up, there's the shot. We're waiting, there's it. Flapping in the back of the cage. The net is just moving about. Fantastic opening goal there for Australia. Pablo putting Australia on the scoreboard for this fantastic game. New Zealand in place, ready for the hit off once more. Murray in front of the screen, and you can see it Bedford in the for New Zealand. Ball's back to play once passed down the line. And it's down. Ball on the screen. Off half. Going to have the cage. What's he doing? No, it's Murray that was in front of the cage. Poblet. New Zealand up on the crumbs of that one moment. Resetting themselves. It's a long pass over the centre line. At the moment we're seeing Murray there, is it? In front of the screen. Long pass there to back to Murray once more. Murray's having a look in the cage, decides not to. New Zealand have it for a shot at the cage. Go there for New Zealand. Well, there's the second slap shot of the cage. See how that's coming off the moment. Got a bit of tussle going on. And the injured waiting. Put up. Here we go. There's Australia coming down the floor at the moment. There's Poblet and Bowen in at the moment. A bit of a charge down. They have a shot. Can't see if there's anything there at all. Not hitting the referee. The Australian keeps possession of this ball at the moment. Passing across the other side of the floor. Hurley on the floor now for Australia. There's a bit of Bevan Hurley. He's coming into the fray. He's putting some pressure on the New Zealanders. Can they get that point? Having look, they're just taking their time at the moment. Australia 1 goal up in this game so far in the first period. Yeah, from Australia, Murray. And it looks as though it's chasing that one there, and New Zealanders have got onto it. It's their ball for the minute. What are they going to do with it? They're going to be setting up, trying to attack the Australian defence there at the moment. Working up. Each game, right? Right up against the ball, like I said, at the moment. Poblet's in the action. Hurley's coming out on top there. He's chasing down the wall. Behind the cage, looking for the pass out. There it is, it's coming through, passes off to the other side of the floor. It's a wide pass to either player, picked up by Australia once more. Long pass back to the other side of the floor to Poblet to intercept. Poblet having a bit of a look in, decides he's going to go around the New Zealander at the moment, go wide. Skating behind the cage, had to look at the sneaky man is coming through. There isn't one there for Australia. Australia just over a relaxed pass. Hurley having a look into the centre circle. What's he going to do? He's going to pass. Off to Poblet. Poblet's going to come in and look like he's had a go. Intercepted back of the cage. New Zealand ball at the moment. I think it's Murray's charging down the floor at this point in time. Going to put some pressure on the game. Gets it off the target. It's easily patted away by the keeper, Lee Glass. Australia has the ball. Early coming across front. There's the pass to the man. Cameron Bowen has come in front of goals. He's come through for another go. Murray in front of screen at the moment. James Murray from the screen. New Zealand have the ball behind the back Murray. New Zealand, Australia having a bit of a tussle up against the wall. Who's coming out on top of that? Catch up. Seeing it in front of myself here at Melbourne. Got Murray coming in, pass off, and there is a fantastic goal. Great work from the Australian camp there. Great. Unfortunately, to bring that exciting goal there. We are working hard on it at the moment. I can see on screen at the moment is New Zealand has the ball at this point in time. Good at passing across to the other side. Murray to New Zealand. To update our feed here at the moment and keep you abreast of what's going on in the game. The images we're getting here in the Melbourne studio are a little bit sketchy at this point in time. And we're seeing Carlos Fernandez on screen at the moment. Great work, Carlos Fernandez, been a good support to the Australian team. And we're trying to catch up proceedings here at the moment. We're seeing the ball come back and play for his whistle now. We can hear it in the distance. New Zealand has this ball at this point in time. So trying to play catch up positions. Unfortunately, we've had a few technical difficulties this morning with the live stream back to the Melbourne studio. We're only getting patchy little bits of information. Seeing some replay action coming through at the Melbourne studio here at the moment. A nice pass there to the New Zealand. There was a bit of fumble on the floor there. You can see Carlos Fernandez is trying to chase that loose ball. Corey Bedford is seeing in the foreground here at the moment and just after shooting front ball. He'd come back to us. New Zealand passes off to the centre wing position at the moment. Skating through, passes long across the other side. New Zealand has that backhand slap shot out the cage. Referee's whistle has been blown. Can't see what's going on in the play. As you can see on the screen, I'm just setting themselves in, ready to start play once more. Referee just coming into the screen there to placing the ball in position. Referee's getting into position now, ready to start a play. New Zealand start play one. They're jammed into the corner at the moment. On Australia, putting a bit of pressure on. There we go. And on play, we are probably seeing is the Australian AMP strategy at sport time. So we just want to catch up with the images here at the moment. So not seeing too much going on here for the live stream in Melbourne. Difficult to commentate when I can't quite see what's going on with the game here at this point in time. Now we're back on the screen once more. We've got a little bit of a catch-up with this screen going on here. New Zealand, as you can see on the moment, have the ball. They appear to be in the half position. At the point in time, this looks like I'm seeing a replay coming through. Not exactly sure what's happening in the stream here in the Melbourne studio. Working hard to try and get these images back online for everyone. And it looks like we're back in play once more. Yes, we have the live stream going on there at the moment. It's anybody's ball. It's Australia, New Zealand chasing it deep into the corner. New Zealand passes it behind the cage. There's pressure from the Australians there at the moment. New Zealand can't get a clean stick on it. It looks like Pablo wins on the battle against New Zealand. Murray skating back into the defensive role at the moment. The Australians have been pretty aggressive against the New Zealanders. They desperately want to win this game because it will affect their rankings in the World Roller Games next year in Barcelona. Poblet takes the ball at the moment, has a bit of a look at Nancy drifts in, decides to pass it off to the other side. At the moment it looks like with Bowen, and we're seeing Fernandez coming in, he's skating in, looks like he's going to have a bit of a go. Pass off to Poblet. Poblet drives, gets one off, doesn't get any joy in that. Picked up by New Zealanders up at the moment with some pressure on Australia. New Zealand have got the ball, they're charging down the floor, there's the pass in between. Glenn Corners on the floor at the moment for New Zealand. Good to see Jimmy out here, one of the junior players plucked his international arena. There's a bit of a tussle. And there is the referee's buzzer has gone off for the first time out period. Interesting game we're seeing here. It's a low scoring game. We thought there might have been a little bit more goals scored on the board for either one of these teams, and that we're just seeing the replay there, a little incident between Blencorn and Poblet with Murray just skating through there. Great to see the New Zealanders here in this international arena. We've had a lot of fun on the floor and off the floor with the New Zealanders at Trans-Tasman Cup. Fantastic tournament to be involved in, and Drew Media are also a part of that one as well with Roller Hockey Australia. Great tournament, fantastic time to be involved with the New Zealanders anywhere you go. So the first time out period we're seeing here at the moment, we've got approximately 20 seconds left on the clock for that first time out. Australia is looking reasonably relaxed. They're putting the pressure on the New Zealanders, but the New Zealanders are doing very well in their strategy. So they've got a fairly rugged defence, as it appears. It seems to be a little bit not quite as aggressive as we might have seen in the past, but they're actually working out some very nice plays in place. And there's the buzzer once again, ready to start play for this next period of play. The players will be setting themselves back onto the floor once more. 12 minutes remaining in this first half of the game. As we saw in the scoreboard, Pablo just drifting out on the floor there at the moment. The referee has the ball set in position, ready to start off play once more. I expect we'll be seeing the Australian camp there. It's Lee Glass just drifting into the cage there. In the foreground, we're seeing Murray and Hurley ready to start play. There's the referee's whistle. Back once more. This international 18th Asian roller game, Namwong City, South Korea. Australia having a fantastic tournament at this point in time. They're having a great game so far. One up on the New Zealanders. Hurley having a bit of a skate down the ball. He's going to come in. No, decides to go around the cage. Pass back made on the centre line. There's Murray waiting for that pass. It's back down the line to Hurley. Hurley jammed it and decides to go back to Murray. New Zealand puts pressure on them. Now, the only way he can go is back down the line again. Just Luke Bowen have to get that cage at the moment. Sits up, bump down the corner. Then come back and just it's Murray. Sits up on the pass that one. What's he going to do? There he's in the corner at the moment. So the images are catching up. Pablo deciding to go back after he's got a good idea to go into the cage. Murray resetting himself. There's a big slap shot. Hurley doesn't come off. He does the dummies I can see here. There's a long pass across the other side of the floor, trying to drift the players over the side to provide that the other. Hurley having a bit of a look in now. What's he going to do? Skates into the corner pass. Is there anybody in the cage for that sneak pass in front? There isn't anything there. He's lead the floor players for Australia in the moment. It's been called for New Zealand to run down on the shot clock. New Zealand have the ball at the moment. Blinkhorn passes back to the centre piece at the moment. New Zealand having a bit of a look, just passing backwards and forwards at the moment. In time. Looks like it's seeing there for New Zealand at the moment. Has the ball on the end of the stick. He passes into the front of the cage at the moment. Can't find the man for New Zealand. Ready for that one. Passes long down the wall. Intercepted by New Zealand on that pass. He's having a bit of a charge down the floor, but it's wide. Up by Australia. And they on that import down in New Zealand. Bowen coming to the cage, having a look. Intercepted by New Zealand. Two black on one green and gold at the moment. Pablo gets it out successfully. Look at Murray on the far side. He's having a bit of a charge down the fence at the moment. Can't see any right there at the moment. Can't see an open. Freeze happening here on the screen at the time. Seeing Hurley coming into the screen at the moment. Cage there. New Zealand are falling over just momentarily. There's a shot of the cage. Looked like it was Pablo having a go at that one. Blinkhorn picks it up from New Zealand in the back of the cage. Coming through. Passes off to teammates. Seeing by the look of it there. Long pass down deep into the offensive grip of New Zealand. Decide to pull it back to the centre circle and work the through. Blinkhorn is having a bit of a charge down the line there. He's stuck in the corner. Does the pass out in front of the cage. Everybody there for New Zealand. Straight to pick it up. Coming in. There's a big long pass coming through to Bowen. Bowen's heading through. Having a bit of a look. Decides to pass off the other side of the floor. This looks like that's supposed to be Murray. He's going to have a look. Cage is to Hurley. Pablo having a bit of a look. What's he going to do? He's going to skate in. And he has the shot. He's got a bit of a shot in before 5 seconds. The Australian. It's had his go now. The clock has been reset. Bowen front of screen. Passes down into the corner. Looks like Hurley back again. Australian man just skating in front of the cage. There he is at the moment, the danger man in front of the cage. Can't quite see where he's at. Australian ball drifting back at the centre. Just more of a relaxed possession of that one. It passes to Pablo on the other side of the floor. Blinkhorn providing a little bit of interference there. Pablo skating around, having a bit of a look. He's going to try and let one rip. No, he passes it off. Back to Bowen. What's he going to do? Looks like he's going to have a bit of a skating and still playing catch up. This looks like Hurley's having a bit of a skate down into the corner. Too much. The log diagonal path to the centre line for Bowen. Off the other side. Hurley having a bit of Bowen. Going to get past up. Oh no, he's deep on the charge. He's going to get go at goal. Too much black in the way at this point for the Australians to score. New Zealand has the ball, having a look, skating in towards the centre, moving in towards the cage, decides to pass it off. Blinkhorn, intercepted there, uncontested by Australia. He's in the corner, trying to pull it out. Gets back to the centre line. Turn around Pablo. He's trying to get his way into it. How's he going at the moment? He's waiting for the catch up. Pablo, as you can see in the moment, has intercepted that ball. He's had the wide, deep shot in the cage. Don't get the interest there of the Australian scoreboard. New Zealand have the ball at the time. Looks like Bowen seeing in the distance at the moment. He did look at that pass to the man. It's close to the screen. There it comes. Now it's the rebounding off the ball. Blinkhorn comes in the screen now, picks it up for New Zealand. Passes down deep. Pass. Blinkhorn, he comes down to the corner with it. He's stuck there at the moment. A bit much pressure there from Murray. Can't get out. Passes back to the centre line. And then you see the New Zealand player there is the back man in the centre circle. It's intercepted by Pablo. He's having a little charge down the floor. Bowen. There's Pablo. He goes into the cage. There's really joy there. New Zealand keeper picks it up. He's intercepted that one. Blinkhorn passes it down the line. Missed pass there from New Zealand. Picked up by Murray at the back of the cage. Skating through now. There's the long pass to Hurley. Bounces off the ball. Hurley having got to skate across the other side of the floor, just trying to make his way into the wind up and the slap shot. Defended by New Zealand well. Back to the centre circle. There's a half forward moment up against the wall. Back to the centre line again. Australians pass. So there's the wind up of the cage. Easily kept up by the New Zealand keeper, picked up by the New Zealand ball player. Behind the cage it goes, and they're slowly bringing it forward now. Just looking for that long pass. There it is. They're passing a little bit deeper into that half forward position at the moment. It's jammed up against the wall. They've been looking for their man. He's low coming through at the moment. Should have been earlier. That pass. Good play all the same for New Zealand. New Zealand is really home. This is the national 18th Asian roller games at the moment. Drew Media, Roll Hockey Australia, cross sport. Fantastic battle is Bowen Australia. Passes long up to the outside the floor. Seeing the wind up. No, he decides that he's going to take the pressure and back off. Passes the other side on the centre line. Bowen take that pass. Have a look at it. Pass off to the other side of the floor. Pobla's in front of us, moment ready to see that pass. Working the figure eight. New Zealand at the moment. New Zealanders are drifting back to a more of a defensive position, allowing the Australians to just that little bit closer to end the goals at the moment. Seeing Pobla have final one off at the moment. Picked up by Rowan, sitting behind the cage. Being brought forward by the New Zealand. There's the long pass to the centre line. Looking, where's he going to move with it? He's passing back to his teammate, Sings. Through at the moment. Paused in position, waiting. Which way is he going to go? Just keep moving with it. There's the long pass across the floor from the man getting back the other foot. It's Australia's ball. It's the point in time. Picked up on an intercept. Australia pointing to his fellow team. I want you over there. There's the long pass from, looks like Bowen. Looks like Pablo at the front of the screen here at the moment. They're drifting back to the centre circle. Reset themselves, having a bit of the cage. So Murray on their far side, as you might be able to see the moment. Referee has been and there's the next timeout period. Great game we're seeing here from Australia and New Zealand. Very low scoring match. Expected a little bit more from the Australians to actually come out and put a few more goals up on the board. But New Zealand are responding well. This has been a fantastic game so far. New Zealand is starting to take it to the Australians. I'm really impressed with their game so far. We're seeing some of the plays come out that we've seen from the Australian camp. The New Zealanders seem to have adopted. They've been obviously watching the videos. They've been doing a lot of talking. Games. Australia versus New Zealand. Australia is currently 1 up on the goal score. 2 up on the goal scoring tally at this point in time. Themselves, and we're seeing the clock there ready to be reset for the start of play for the first half. 5 minutes 43 seconds left on this clock at the moment for the first time out period. The first half of this game, I should say. We just had the second time out there. Ball set back in position once more, ready for New Zealand to start play. There's the whistle. The rock once more. Passing back to Singh. The back man for New Zealand. Left and forward. There's the Blinkhorn coming through in front of screen at the moment. What's he going to do? He's turning. He's having a bit of a look at the moment. Passes back to his teammate. Going to have a bit of a look in. Oh, there's the sneaky pass. There was off to the side while the man came through. Blinkhorn off the centre circle to Singh. Long pass across the other side. Mate, New Zealand have to go at the cage at the moment. Here at rebounding off the wall. Looks like it's Murray intercepting for Australia. Bit of pressure off New Zealand. Murray, the referee, what's going on with that? And Bell's back in play. Referee said play on, of course. We're still back in the physical action. See if they can hold one in time. There's a tussle straight to New Zealand at the moment. 2 New Zealanders on the one tried to back off. Let him have the ball. This time we're seeing Singh picking up in front of the cage. Boys, New Zealanders set themselves. Australia a little bit further up than we've seen previously. They're just putting in more pressure. Could be a little bit Lincoln doing the spin off on the Australian player. There's the has a bit of a at the cage there, drifting back using the defensive area. Poblet chasing him up at the moment, just putting the pressure on New Zealanders. Make a little mistake there, that puts Poblet in front of the cage for a scoring opportunity. New Zealand have the ball at the moment, coming back into screen, circle. What's he going to do? He's going to pass it off, he's going to have to go. Passes off. Teammate, have another look there. New Zealand pushing a little bit deep here, Australian area. Really got pressure on them. New Zealand got to get a score on the board. New Zealand just working it back and forwards on the line. That's it. Great pressure. Poblet being an antagonistic person there at the moment, boys. But we're seeing a bit of a charge down the floor. Who's got Pablo at the moment? Let's go with the keeper. The loose ball at the moment. Pablo in too slow, intercepted by New Zealand. Looks like rips one off at the moment. Rebounds off the back of the cage at the cage there against the barrier. Pablo trips in, decides he's going to have a shot at cage as well. Defended away by New Zealand. Back on that centre line. The boys ball at the moment. They're coming. There's the passing. New Zealand man cut skating through. Jammed up against the ball. Let's get the images here at the moment. There's that 2-1 New Zealand. Look at the moment. Wait for the injury. Goes in here. Time. Come back in it once more. Like it's Singh in the corner, and Poblet putting a bit of pressure on the two New Zealanders. There should be a plenty of there, black there in defence to try and help him out, his teammate. Has a shot at the cage. He's going to hear it rebounding off the back wall. So Australia has the moments where the Pablo is having a bit of interference. Has a shot and off the back wall. The moment getting freeze frame in here at this point in time. Looks like Blinkhorn's back off the ball home on the centre line. Having a bit of skate around. He can't see away yet at the moment. Puzzle off his teammate Singh. Fumble there from New Zealander, but he's back on it again. Having another look. Just picking up a little bit more on that centre line. Blinkhorn having a bit of a look down the side. He tries to lift up at the moment. Can't get it off. Blinkhorn still keeping control of the ball. Passing off to Singh as in the distance. Having a bit of a skate down the ball. Referee's whistle has been blown. Trying to catch up with him at the moment. Players are standing there at the moment. It looks like there could be a bit of discussion with the referee. Referee and officials, I was going to see the bench. He's been put back in Australia's back in play. Poblet passes it into the front of the cage area at the moment. No, it's ball has just been passed around at the moment. What did the referee indicate? Yes, I want the ball back here, please. Yeah, Singh looks like to take the hit off. I guess for the start of play for New Zealand. There's the whistle. Back in play once more. So Murray skating down deep into the corner. He's a bit stuck there. Poblet put the pressure on. Blinkhorn there in support for New Zealand. Murray just drifting back. Poblet just trying to provide some interference. There's that Blinkhorn, the half forward position moment up. Looks like it's been a long pass to Murray. Having a bit of a look down there. Can't see what's going on here at the moment. Jammed in the corner for New Zealand. Passes back to the centre line. Anybody's ball at the moment. Australia, New Zealand chasing hard. Australia comes out on top of that. Murray on top of that. Pass off the Poblet. New Zealand have pulled back a little bit even tight their defensive zone at the moment, giving Australia plenty of space to actually work in front of them at the moment. New Zealand quite possibly pushing up and putting a bit more pressure back on the Australians, but it's hard when you're in defence and that you're another goal to be conceded against you, so you don't want to open yourself up too much. The Australians having plenty of room to skate around front of New Zealand. As you can work a loose zone man on defence at the moment. Roughly, the New Zealand standing in the four positions of a box move, but drifting around as required to keep the Australians out. New Zealanders are putting up a great defence at this point in time of the game as well. Expected to see a higher scoring game, but New Zealand have managed to keep Australia down to only 2 goals at this point in time for the half-time break. And we're seeing at the moment the images that just started to stream through once more. Poblet on the ball at the moment. What's he going to do? He's going to skate around the back of the cage at the moment. New Zealand. Looks like New Zealand may have won out on that one. And they're passing down the line. Looks like Blinkhorn tries to get around him at the moment. Whose ball is it? Seeing anybody's moment in time. It's got Poblet and just possession that turn around and pass to his mate. Can't see what's going on there. India's still trying to catch up. Australia. New Zealand is on the stick at the moment. Australia's to pick up possession. It's like Pablo's on 2-2. He's trying to put pressure on at the moment. Not enough. There's a long pass to Murray in front of screen at the moment. It's Murray having a bit of a drift down the line. Looks like, sorry, and Greg Bowen. Pablo, up. There's the shot. And here coming off the rear barrier at the moment. No goal scored. Early. Hoblet. And there is the buzzer for the first half of this fantastic game. Australia versus New Zealand. 18th Asian Roller Games. Brought to you by the fantastic electricity and internet wizardry of Blue Media in association with Roller Hockey Australia and our name sponsor, Joss Sport. Fantastic match. We're just going to take a little bit of a break here and try and refresh ourselves, and we'll see you for the second half. Don't go away. Ladies, gentlemen, punters, welcome back to the second half of this fantastic epic battle, Australia versus New Zealand, 18th Asian Roller Games, Namwong City in South Korea. Brought to you by the fantastic electronic wizardry of Drew Media in association with Roller Hockey Australia and our name sponsor, Joss Sport. We're just looking at the scoreboard here at the moment. We're seeing the clock running down for this timeout period. We've got approximately 3 minutes left before the start of proceedings for the second half once more. We're seeing a fantastic game here at the moment. Australia's only up 2-0 at this point in time. We expected a bit more of a higher scoring game against New Zealand, but both teams are playing extremely well at this point in time. It could be anybody's game. Australia will be still nervous, even though they're 2 goals up. New Zealand do have the capability of making a strike out the cage. So there's ramifications for the Australian team. They need to win this game against Australia for the placing within the World Roller Games in Barcelona. I'm extremely excited to get attending, and can't attend it, we'll be definitely watching it on the live stream from Drew Media in Roller Hockey Australia, and this fantastic event will be coming up next year. But not only that, we'll also be having Festival of the Stick Part 2, Champions Cup in Brisbane in a few weeks, so we will be bringing that broadcast to you. So we're very excited to be bringing that presentation to you once again. We're just seeing the Australian camp on the floor at the moment. Got James Murray and Geordie Poblet, Cameron Boehm just skating in the screen there at the moment. New Zealand camp just taking the positions on the behind the barrier at the moment, resetting themselves for the second half of the game. And it's going to be an interesting battle too. We're coming down to the dying minutes of this tournament, and really excited at how the result is going to fall. New Zealand will be desperate for the win, and they are taking it to the Australians at the moment. They're defending extremely well. The later stages of that first half, we saw New Zealand tend to be pulling back towards the cage a little bit more in their defence, which was giving the Australians more opportunity to move the ball around in front, almost teasing them, working that figure eight around on the centre line, in fact, not working on the centre line, having no consideration of the 5 or 10 seconds that are allowed to have it over in their defensive area. It's always got to be on the offensive, and Australia has very easily been able to keep well into their offensive area against the New Zealand defence. So you may see the New Zealanders trying to push back a little bit more, might see them strike out against the cage, but the one-on-one battles is where New Zealand seem to be losing out. When there's that chase down the floor for the one-on-one, or whether it be Australia providing interference to New Zealand on one of their passes, it's New Zealand there. They need to work a little bit more on the reception, possibly the smarter plays as far as passing from the man that's available. But seeing some great hockey from New Zealand also. I'm really enjoying the game. I'm really like New Zealand style at this point in time. But the Australians are playing a good game of hockey, as they have done throughout the whole tournament. It's been extremely focused. And we're ready to see play start once again. There's the buzzer. We're into the second half of this game. There's the tap back. Boehm having a bit of a look in at the moment. Has rips up the shot off early. You can hear it bouncing off the barrier at the moment. Referee's calling us over the line for Australia. It's back over now into play. Poblet pick up the intercept there. Across the other side of the floor. Who we got there? Looks like Pablo is coming through at the moment. Been a little bit sketchy. Boehm. Early, I should say. Poblet passing in. There's Poblet goes in, has a shot at the cage, what I can see at the moment. Australia still keeping the hold of the ball at this point in time. No, it's New Zealand at the moment. There's a long pass up the centre line. Decided to pass back deep into their defensive area. Got 10 seconds to get it over the line, which they comply with. Murray front of screen at the moment. And a bit of a look in. What can we see from the New Zealanders? What are they going to do? New Zealand still a bit of movement. Tries to dribble around the Australian players. Stuck on the corner. Pablo put the pressure on at the moment. There's another, looks like Pablo put additional pressure on the Boehm, skating down the floor at the moment. Who's in front of him at the moment? It's only one player. Who can pull it off? Can't get a clean shot at the cage. New Zealand pick it up in the corner. Looks like Bedford getting through. Can't quite see in the images at the moment. We're seeing Murray there on the screen from New Zealand at the moment. There it is over the line. They've got to get it back over. They can play with it. Try to pass down up against the barrier. Skating through. New Zealand coming up with some good plays at the moment. Pablo's going to the cage, charging down. Who's in front of him at the moment? There's his van, he's looking for the pass. 1-2 in front of the cage. Can't get it off. Moment, Pablo from what I can still lets the ball, rips one off on the backhand. I hear it up against the barrier. It's getting a little bit sketchy here at this point in time in the Melbourne studio, but we're seeing New Zealanders having a bit of catering to his team. They receive the pass, heading them back out. putting a lot of pressure on New Zealand team at the moment, skating up that line, providing a little bit of headache there for us momentarily. New Zealand still have the ball. They'll be working that figure eight backwards towards over, looking to get the Australian armour. There it is, back into the centre circle again. New Zealand, as you can see, are having to spend time over the line and having the pressure put on by the Australians to work it backwards. 5 seconds. On again. There's a fight behind the cage at the moment. New Zealand comes out on that one. It's in their offensive area. There's the pass in front of the cage. Can he pull it off? No. Unfortunately not. It's intercepted by Australia. Pablo. There's the pass off to the teammate on the centre line. It's like Pablo is having a skate second half. But we're seeing it's Australia's ball. Australia's game so far, 3-0. New Zealand to have the head off. New Zealand having the ball coming into the defensive area. Australia pushing up a bit more pressure on them. You can flip forward. They're up around the circle. New Zealand struggling to get a penetrating move in between the boxes defensive area of Australia. But they will be playing a zone man-on or a full man-on-man strategy. Still holding possession. They've got the shot clock, 45 seconds. They've got to get a shot off before that clock will be reset. Having the ball. There's the long pass across the ball that I can see at the moment. Forced down in the corner. There's commotion on the floor there. You can see your legal ass having to exercise. There's a Pablo's intercepted on that one on the pass out. Bit of pressure on the New Zealanders, putting a bit of a hand on the back of Pablo at the moment. There's no issues there with the referee, no pushing going on, just a rest. Australia has ball behind the cage, probably trying to pass out at the moment. Interference from New Zealand, they want the ball. It's in the scoring area at the moment, they definitely want it. There's a long pass up to the centre line. New Zealand coming down. Murray is going to have a look. Tries to pass it off. Lincoln, as you can see at the moment. A bit of a tumble on the floor at the moment. It looks like it's early. He rips one off. Can't get it in the cage. Intercepted there by New Zealand bringing it forward now. They've got over the line for 10 second compliance. Referees has seen something. There's a Australian player has fallen on the floor. One Pablo. Back in play once more. Replay the incident there. Pablo coming up. Oh, there was a stick interference there. That could be called a blue card in other circles. The referees will be looking at again and the replays to see if that was clean or not. But it was a stick interference there. Very lucky for the
Shane.
on a blue card on that one. Yes,
Shane,
Alistair, down the ground.
While we were doing the replay, there was a goal for Australia. It's 4-0.
It is 4-0. Fantastic work. Great work there from the crew updating the position in Melbourne studios. Fantastic in here with the guys are working their finger to the bone to bring the broadcast to you. We're seeing New Zealand has the ball at the moment. There's a bit of a fall. The referees have seen it clean. It's Australia's ball at the moment. They're passing to a man that's not there at the moment from Australia. He's down deep. He's stuck in the corner. He's trying to get out back to the centre line. Hobler passes across the floor. Hurley, having a bit of a skate in. I can see the wind up at the moment. Does he decide to rip one off? No, he doesn't. He goes back, plays defensively. It's like Pablo in front of the cage at the moment. Has to sneak the area away by the keeper. 45 seconds for Australia. Have a bit of a look at the moment. There's a little short passes there. He's going to have a bit of a touch in. He's up against the ball. He goes back. Passes back into that centre area at the moment. There's a long pass into the deep corner. The Australian picks it up. It's back. It's gone across the court. Down deep into the scoring area at the moment. Australia decides to rip one off. It's intercepted there. We can see the bit of trouble. Australia, New Zealand. Australia winning out on that one. It's like Poblet coming in and having to go at the cage. Defended away by the New Zealand keeper. Poblet exploded. He's not happy at the moment. I know he wouldn't see, but frustration. New Zealand having the ball. Charging down the floor at the moment. Having a bit of a look. But got penetrated a little bit further in. Decided to go back to the centre line. Reset themselves. Start again. Australia, like Bowen is coming up, and there's also Hurley putting pressure on that centre line. Australia moved up a little bit more in the defence zone, as it were, providing a bit of a headache for the New Zealanders. They just can't seem to get in at the moment. They need to actually try and take some dribbling around them. Just like there's a tussle there. New Zealand against Pablo at the moment. Pablo scoots in. He can't get a good angle on at the moment. He's having a go. Patted away by the New Zealand people. It's a desperate fight here. It's Australia, New Zealand, Poblett has the ball at the moment. There's an indication in the corner, stuck in the corner. Passes back to the centre line to Bowen. Bowen having a casual skate in. Passes off to Lane Hurley. Hurley roots one in. Defended away by the New Zealand keeper, and very well so. There's possession of the ball. We're waiting for it at the moment. New Zealand to come back, bring this ball back into play into their squad. There's the pass to centre circle man. Picked up on the wing. Murray from New Zealand. There's the pass up to his man, nearly in the half-forward position. Decides to go back to the centre circle. Boys setting themselves up at the moment, trying to steady this New Zealand. There's the rip-off. One off of Murray, trying to have a go. Picked up by New Zealand. He's skating around at the moment. He's a bit of a touch behind the coach. Loses balance momentarily. Australia pick up the ball. The pass across the floor of Hurley. Hurley had a bit of foot. There's the pass into that halfway forward position, skating back down into the full forward court at the moment. He's looking for a way out. There's the long pass, Pablo. Just man, step that one. He's bringing it in. What's he going to do? He's looking for his man. Passes off to Hurley. Hurley tries to rip one in. Doesn't come off, unfortunately, for Australia. 17 minutes to end this tournament. Australia has the ball this quarter time. It's down the corner at the moment. What's he going to do with it? He's pressure on him. He can't get a clean shot from the cage. No man skirting through. Can't see anybody there at the moment for an attacking move. There it is. The pass back down. Ball to the man on the centre line. Poblett pick it up. And we're going to look at his charging at the moment. Bit of a freeze play. And we can't see what's going on there. It's frustration and angst. And we are seeing another fantastic goal scored by Australia there. Great work by the Australian camp. They're struggling to keep up the image here in the Melbourne studio, but we are still seeing them bring this game to you regardless. And there is another brilliant goal there. Just manages to get through the New Zealand defences at the moment. New Zealand extremely frustrated by that. 5-0 on the field at the moment. They've felt to relax a little bit in this game. And that we're probably looking around about 15 minutes left at this point. Three, four, forward to the back area. Striker. Pass across the floor to Pablo on the centre line. Pablo down into the forward corner. Who we got there at the moment? Looks like Cleese out on the floor at the minute. It's a Bowen. Is he going to skate in? Have a bit of a look. You can't see what's going on. It's possible. How the referee is indicating this one at the moment. I expect that to be going to a face-off, and we're seeing the ball positioned in the corner now, ready. Rock again. Australia win out of the way. New Zealand have the possession. It's anybody's ball at the moment. No, Australia coming out on top of that one. Clee passes off to Bowen. Long pass across the other side of the floor to Poblett. Having a bit of a skate around and look. There's a Pablo on the far wall. Decides to rip one off the backhand. Fended easily by the New Zealand keeper. Up on the crumbs, down deep in their defensive area. Murray bringing it forward. There's forward in the play up the line again. New Zealand, there's a sneaky pass from these other men between the play. He's clean front of screen at the moment. Pablo. New Zealand to start play once more. Passes it back. Rowan, centre serve, good teammate Murray. No defence. Fleet provides a lot of interference there, a lot of thick work going on at the moment. Decides to back it off. And charges into the forward attacking area for Australia. There's Pablo halfway forward. Fleet in that corner. Wait for it. Then coming backwards and he passes off to like Bowen comes through. What's Bowen going to do? There's Clee again. He intercepts the pass. Back to Poblett. Beautiful figure eight motion at the moment. There's Clee back on the corner of the ball at the moment. Passes back to the centre line. We've seen Pablo on that centre line at the moment. He's going to take it in. Back to circling around to Clee again. He decides he's going to go in. Well, he has to go at the cage at the moment. Oh, he's on the floor at the moment. The referee's whistle has been. We're seeing what the decision is at this point in time. I can't quite see whether it be in the penalty area at the moment. So they are conferring with the referees at this point in time. And it is Australia's ball to start proceedings once more. Take the hit. No, there's going to be a swapping of players at this point in time. We've got Pablo, we've got Poblett. There's a tap, go around wide, have a shot. No, he's going to go pressure behind the cage at the moment. He's going to look for that man, Australia, as he's skating through in front of the cage. Can't quite see the images of Storm trying to catch up. So at the moment, please, jammed down in the corner, he's trying to get it back out. There's the pass along the wall. There's a picking it up, looks like Poblett's intercepting on that one, he's charging in. Trying to wind one up. Not sure if he's successful or not. I can't see on the images. New Zealand pick up of their goal attempt there. Clee providing just a little bit of to escape back. And it's seeing on the ball at the moment. A bit of a charge. Pressure on there from Australia. It looks like Clee's having a bit of a run down the floor at the moment. decides he's going to pass it off. The pass is a little bit of interference there from New Zealand, but Australia still can hold on to that. This big long pass to Poblet across the floor, down to the corner. Lee brings it back to Poblet. He's going to have passes off to his teammate, but what's Bowen going to do is he's got enough angle on there to rip one in. No, he decides not to. Australia keeps holding the ball the moment on the outside. Guys have a shot at the cage, can't get it off. Seeing the images here at the moment. New Zealand take position of the ball. And Australia, Poblet intercepting on that one up against the wall. The moment pressure on there from New Zealander. Now, Australia getting it back into their attacking area at the moment, just bringing it over the line. Got the 10 seconds, they comply. Poblet having a bit of a skate here, jammed in the corner now. If you're looking for that pass out, is there a man in front of the cage? No, there isn't. Bowen skating down the wall. There's the pass in front of the cage. Poblet. It looks as though the referee's whistle has been blown. There's another goal for Australia. Can we see the result? Are we seeing the referee's indication? Is there anything there? Think of face off there. That's it. Not sure who can battle. New Zealand's ball back in the corner. What they're going to do? Pass it behind the cage. Just throw unseen. Jack forward. Frozen at this point in time. We're back on once more. New Zealand scored on that one. Yes, it looks like it's disappointing with the face of the Australian camp. It's a goal for New Zealand from what I can see here at the moment. Looking at the replay, what are we seeing? Bring these images live to you at the moment through media. Fantastic work, Roller Hockey Australia. Josh Sport. There it is. There's the backhand attempt. And it's in the cage. Great goal for him. Cameron Bowen raising his stick in there. He's disappointed. He's upset. Very upset about this. Even though Australia 5-1 up on the game so far, I should say. It's like Australia having a clean sweep of this tournament so far. We've seen Bowen on the ball at the moment. That ball looks like it's been put in front of Queen. We've got there also drifting in front. We've got Singh. He's pass off in front, man in front of the cage. Up, stuck in the corner. Clee put pressure on him. Just like Bowen position there for support. Gets it out of the wall. Get pressure on there. Has he got enough space to get the shot off? No, it's intercepted by Australia. There's only one in front of Australia. Shot at the cage. Pablo's trying to work on that one at the moment. Jammed in the corner. New Zealand has got first. New Zealand have it in the corner. There's a long pass up then a long. Intercepted. Bedford for New Zealand. Still got to get it back over. Fumble between the legs at the moment. There it is over the line. Passes to his teammate Singh. He's going to do it. Yes. Back to Bedford. Back on it. He's going to charge. And finds good. Cage does the blind turn. Doesn't come off. Can't speed off a player successfully. Like Bowen charging and the hard one. See here. He's having it in front of the cage. The around passes long and he's on the floor. He's the teammate Poblet going to have a look. No, it's back to Bowen again. You have a shot. Here we go. Intercepting that pass there quite casually. Lee. Pablo coming into the screen there. Like that might even be Murray. Can't collect the images throw. Yes, Murray's back on the floor. Big line turning at the moment. Pass to team on the side of the floor. There's a pop. Have a look there. Bowen skating through. Passes back to his mate Murray. What is he doing? The barrier. Poblet there on the centre line. Signaling to his mate. Come through. There's Ashley. Skating through back position on that centre line. The pass on the other side at the moment. But with the Bowen side, he's going to try and rip one in. Doesn't get any joy in that. Seeing waiting to catch up at the moment. Looks as though Australia's ball less possession of Poblet and going to do it in. Looking in. Back to the centre line. Down deep. Poblet. Back to the centre once more. There at the moment, they're going to have a bit of a charge in sides at the time. Australia got to have a shot. 45 seconds. Intercept doesn't matter. New Zealand, what are they going to do with it? Bedford. Had pressure on it. Who's of it all? It's a man-on-man tough. New Zealand been down there once. Lee backing off the pressure on it. Coming through at one moment from New Zealand. Passes off the centre circle. Just waiting for you to catch up at the moment. Yes, it's still New Zealand's ball at the moment. They need some stick time on the ball. They've ripped one off New Zealand Australia was able to keep out that move there. Still that slash cage. The pass long the centre half position. Skating backwards centre circle, pass off to his teammate Australia. Murray, there he is. He's having to go a little wide of the centre circle. Decides to rip one off. Doesn't get any joy on that one. New Zealand pick up in the rebound of that. New Zealanders starting to bring the ball forward that bit and to put a bit of pressure on. Get the ball in front of the Australian off defensive there at the moment. Australia has relaxed a little bit. Boarding is a little bit of place in front. So, as just got experience, Case picks up the ball, gets the one down the fourth hole at the moment. It's dating back to maintain possession at the moment. Pressure coming running in. They have a look at the cage as you can see at the moment. They are unable to convert, unfortunately, for the Australians. Australia's still holding the ball at the moment. There's the passing down the wall at the moment. Players skating through. Have a look to see where we can get the Zealanders. They tries to flat shot there. Oh, doesn't play off. Picked up at the back of the cage. There's the pass coming through at the moment. Through. Passes off at the centre circle. 15 coming through. There's Murray. Round, thing, having a bit of a in that, and you get a shot off. Can't get the angles. Go back to the referee. And there buzzer for the time out of the second period. Interesting game we're seeing here. The New Zealanders seem to be maybe flagging a little bit. Maybe I'm not sure what's going on there, whether they're starting to run out of league. They're starting to work that. So our strategies don't seem to be quite working as well as what we're hoping. But New Zealanders are trying. They are trying to keep this player up to the Australian camp. And I'm just wondering if Alistair, Andrew, are you down there on the floor for Drew Media?
Yeah, I'm here, Shane. How are you going?
Fantastic. It's great to have you here on the broadcast once again, Alistair. How are the boys looking at the moment? I expect they'd be pretty relaxed on the sidelines there at the moment while they take a bit of water.
Oh, I think it goes without saying. I mean, the guys are pretty relaxed. They have been. And, I mean, the scores are on the board. So, I mean, I think it's business as usual. They know they shouldn't underestimate anybody. And, just going to be happy to wrap this up.
Absolutely. And we've seen the incredible focus that the Australian team have had right at the start of this tournament. But we haven't been able to have much communications with the guys. Even social media has been limited. It's just hockey. If you're not playing hockey, you're warming up for hockey. If you've just played a game, you're warming down for hockey. And when you finish that, you're actually going to be going back into the rooms and you're going to be watching more hockey. You're going to be talking hockey. You're going to be living, breathing. I'm sure, I don't even know if these guys take their skates off of a night time to go to sleep. It's just hockey. And it's paying dividends. It's the 18th Asian Roller Games in Namon City from South Korea. It's been a fantastic tournament also. Also, I was obviously busy down there in the media rooms for Drew Media, bring these fantastic images to you live on the Facebook stream. But we're just about to see play start once again. We've got a face-off situation just near the goal scoring area, and the play is back in more. Hobler is in front of the screen at the moment, just coming through. And then if we look there, Australia is circulating a bit closer to the cage than they have been just before this timeout period. New Zealand are really pulling the wagons into a circle, pulling them back tight, which is affording the Australians more room in front of them to actually manoeuvre around. As you can see, the Australians just seem to be leisurely skating around in front of New Zealand at the moment. They're probably not sure what to do and how to make this play at the moment. It could be a case of it might be worthwhile New Zealand taking the initiative, going all out, just full-on aggression, rather than pulling into it against Vera. We're seeing nearly a bit less than 9 minutes left on the clock this tournament for Australia. And it's been a great result so far. New Zealand have taken it to the Australians. It has been a relatively low-scoring game to what we might have expected. But, New Zealand are putting a great fight. Australia having to work to score. It's not coming easy to pick the Australians. And we're absolutely loving this hockey at the moment. Boehm down the ball. Passes to his teammate. Fernandez in the corner. What's he going to do? He's still taking the page at the moment. Too much pressure for New Zealand. He goes down to the floor. Recovers himself. New Zealand pick up the ball in the meantime. Have a bit of a look down the floor. There it is, the pass, get it over the centre line. Tonkin. Soon just skating through there at the moment. And we'll have the ball on the time. And just having a look at the Australian defence. It's still a little bit of the ball playing the man-to-man defence. But they're looking at the man and just defending hard against him, making sure it's between in the cage. Australia has the ball at the moment. Having a bit of down there. They're up against the ball at the moment. Spotting a bit of intercept. New Zealand pick up on the crumbs of that one. Long pass across the floor. And we're looking at that's for New Zealand skating in. Having a bit of goes. Picked up by New Zealand. Passes back to the centre line to see him back down again. What's he going to do? Tonkin just losing a little bit of balance there. Probably, there's only one Australian in front, one New Zealander in front. Australian. How is it? It's a fantastic goal. Another goal from Australia on a breakaway move. Poblet scoring that last one. Great work from the Australian camp, taking their opportunities as they come. There's the second time out we're seeing in the second half of the game. Great work from both camps we're seeing here at the moment.
Shane, that wasn't a goal, mate.
It wasn't a goal? No?
No.
What was the situation there, Al? So you're on the man on the ground. We are struggling a little bit with the images here in the Melbourne studio.
Yeah, well, Geordie hit that one too high, so that got called out. So it was no goal.
No goal there. Okay, so you're actually hearing a man out on the field at the moment. Al Andrew for Drew Media. So great. Thank you very much for keeping us abreast of all the updates that are going on there, Alistair. And it's been great having the Drew crew on the floor in South Korea, giving us all the highlights and little tidbits of information that are coming through on the floor with the officials, with the referees and with the players themselves. And a big thank you to all of those that have been sending messages through on the Facebook feed, Roller Hockey Australia, and also the social media messages to the players themselves. The boys are loving it. They really appreciate this. South Korea. These tournaments can be a hard, lonely battle. And they really appreciate all the messages that are coming through, and I'm sure that the guys will be getting back to you if they haven't responded already to all those great supportive messages from the Australian International Camp. But we're seeing Jimmy Blinkhorn from New Zealand. We've been talking about him earlier, one of the juniors that's been plucked out of junior ranks to play in the senior competition. Bit of experience gathering there for the junior players coming through in future years when they're full of playing their top skill level in sport themselves and they're of age. A great experience for these boys. Please pay for the huge dividends for this. Hurley in front of the cage decides to have a bit of a look, pass off the bow and Poblet, circling the ground. What are they going to do? Is he going to have a go in? No, he decides that he's going to play defensive and pass it back to centre circle to Bowen. Having a band the 6 boys, he's going to stand in the corner again. Whereas the position at the moment still looks like there could be Hurley in it, that I could see. Back to Bowen. Having a bit of a look in, there's a bit of pressure on the no Australian, a bit of a shield in there. Looks like it's Fernandez having a rip at the cage. Doesn't pay off. It's a battle there at the moment. Where's the ball? It's in New Zealand's possession at the moment. They're bringing it forward. 10 seconds to play at the line. Do that very easily. Half-ball position. New Zealand trying to pass it back. Well, too much pressure on there. The Australians are really taking the Kiwis at the moment. They really do not want him in. There's the classic man-on-man strategy in that no matter where he is, chasing there and get the ball off him. As well as don't leave yourself exposed. You don't want to leave any gaps. Seeing front of screen at the moment from New Zealand. And they go just like early finds in the defence there at the moment to stick out. So Australia's ball, no, it's in New Zealand's ball out of the corner. Where is it? I'm waiting for the images to catch up. Battle Australia, New Zealand up against the wall from what I'm seeing here. Australia with the phone, having a bit of a look there. Decides to pass off instead of playing the shot. Okay, Poblet. Looks like Fernandez. What's Fernandez going to do? Passes to Bowen once more. Bowen, signalling to his teammate. Across the other side, what's Poblet going to do? He's into the corner to his fellow teammate. Earl comes in, backhand front of the cage. What are you seeing there? No, it's rebounded by people. What's the result? The referee's whistle has been blown. New Zealand keeper getting off the floor. Let's move. The ninjas in the cage, as I call them. Fantastic work there to try and block out any attempt at scoring from the Australian camp. Great work from the New Zealand keeper. And he has been taking a lot of punishment during this game. So we're seeing a good result here for the Australian camp. Of course, we're seeing the scoreboard. New Zealand will be a little bit disappointed. They will have been hoping to actually get a score on the board. They've been training very hard and working on their international game for a long while now. Just seeing the replay of that one. Big hitter for the Australian camp. Here he is, he's in the corner there. It's a Poblet providing a little bit of coverage there. You can't actually produce a shepherding move, but that was just gave enough of a bit of a shield there to keep the player distracted and create openly further stated to have go back against that shot. Back in play, one great images there for media crew. Zealand happy to play at the moment. On the centre line, passes to him, mate. There he is, the man in front of the cage. What can he do with it? Unfortunately, probably too much interference. Couldn't quite see it on the catch-up of the images. We're up against the wall at the moment. Referee's whistle has been blown. And it will be New Zealand called to start play once more. Pass back to the centre line. There's a bit of a tussle there at the moment. It's still New Zealand ball. See at the moment. Passes up against the wall at the moment to his teammate. He's a little bit deep. Decides to skate back. But they're putting a bit of pressure on there. You can see the New Zealanders have turn. They keep the ball in possession at the moment. Back to the centre circle of New Zealand. Passes off to the other side. Australia, as you can see, is pushing right up on the moment. Early, put the pressure on the man. Well, you can see Australia moving into more of a defensive position there. Looks as though Australia is actually having that one man up there just to be maintained in circulation, maintaining possession. There's Australia's ball on the intercept. They're coming down the wall, rip one off. Now he decides to stop. He's jammed into the corner at the moment. What's he going to do? Hurley's looking for that pass out. There it is. It's coming back to the centre line. Australia have a bit of a look around, working through the rate. No, Pollard decides he's going to go in and have a go. No result there, unfortunately, for us. It's a bad pass there from New Zealand. Pablo picking it up easily. He does the long pass up the other side of the ball. It looks like and has a go at the cage. You can hear it rebounding off the ball. New Zealand will pick it up off the back. Passes off to Blinkhorn. Oh, there's the man that was skating through for New Zealand. It's good defensive courage there from Australia to make sure that pass wasn't intercepted. It's a skating down the line at the moment for New Zealand, having a bit of a go at the cage. Tries to get the scoring shot off. Blinkhorn passes back to his teammates, long to the centre line. Blinkhorn once puts it skate in. Well, he's a bit of a wall of green and gold there with two players up to Blinkhorn. There is Cameron Bowen, haven't got the skating, wall of black there at the moment. He tries to get the shot off, but there's just not enough accuracy there for that shot. New Zealand pick it up quickly, moving down the floor. And look, there's the man in front of the cage. Can he pull off the 1-2? Can't get a good kick it on, unfortunately. Still play on the moment. New Zealand's ball at the moment. The play flying through at the moment. New Zealand ripping one off the cage. Good to see New Zealand having the score. There's Clee putting the pressure on them at the moment. New Zealand's ball. There's a Hurley in front of the screen for Australia at the moment. There's a bit of interference there, but Hurley picks it up on the crumb for that one. Hardman rips off the shot. It's wide. From what I can see here, the image at the moment. It's Australia's ball, New Zealand's ball. New Zealand comes out on the line. Long pass across the other side of the floor. Singh bringing it forward for New Zealand. What's he going to do? He passes off to his team. Looks like Blinkhorn is there ready. No, it looks like it's possibly Tonkin or Murray. Can't tell at this point in time. New Zealand taken back to the centre circle. They're going to keep working that centre line, charging in hard to pick up the intercept in that pass. We're seeing Pablo and Clee in the attacking front point area at the moment. Put pressure on New Zealand. There it is in the corner, so easily intercepted. We'll be seeing it look like Bowen is on the charge of that one. He's going to have to go up the page. Can't see it, just waiting for the result of that one. Back to the set line for Australia. We'll just see here at the moment, trying to play catch with injuries. It's like Cleve's having a bit of a skate in. The ball's back to Pablo. The half forward area at the moment, having a bit of a skate in from what I can see. And just waiting for the images to catch up. We've got New Zealand ball at home. Australia. Final round, 18th Asian roller game. Blinkhorn in front of screen at the moment. The game results so far: Australia 5, New Zealand 1. Referee's whistle has been blown. So timed out, I expect, over the line or on the shot clock. There's the foul count as we're seeing from the referee table. Australia position for time to start play off. New Zealanders. Looks like it could be Murray back on the floor again. Pablos has a shot at the cage. Murray just drifting back at the line at the moment, intercepting that loose pass at the moment. Back across the other ball cross. No play the images at the moment. Who's that one looked like a Bowman having a shot at the cage. Picked up by there. New Zealand bringing it out from behind the cage. There's the long pass. Blinkhorn intercepts on that one. A bit of a look. Jammed in at the moment. Tries to get the pass to his mate. Pub pulling over in the meantime. Tap in the back of the Australian contest. Great camaraderie. It's all about the hockey here though. So intercept that ball, drifting back. There's the teammates. Great. Dribbling the ball back towards. This is still left up. Bowen sitting in the corner. There's a pass long up against the wall. There's back. Please coming through at the moment. What's he going to do? Pushed hard into the corner as well, up against the barrier. Turning. See where's the pass back. He's coming back into the centre of the floor again. No, gets pass off to his teammate. Murray's having to get the charge in from what I can see. Tries to pass off the Bowen at the last minute. After Poblet. Long pass to Pablo in the moment in the thick of the action. Just picking up all this point in time up against the barrier. The half-forward position. Back to the centre line. It's carried through at the moment by Murray on the skate through and edge on the cage. Australia's picking up the ball, once more on that one. Murray up against the barrier at the moment. Just waiting for the images to update. Sleep coming through the screen at the moment. What we're seeing in the action, looks like Murray on the ball there at the moment, down deep. So New Zealand's ball on a time, just waiting for to catch up before. See where play is at. Murray, New Zealand on the screen at the moment. See him skating. Flick on the pad. Looks like he's on the ball at the moment. He's having a look at it. New Zealand just passing the ball around at the moment on the centre line. They've got to have a bit of a charge in. There's an attempt there. There's a bit of a loose opportunity. Can't quite see what's going on at the moment. Bowen picks it up and it comes at the moment. Headed down the floor. Trying to see what's going on at the moment. Looks like there's New Zealand has picked up in the back line. They're skating forward with it. Lincoln, I'm seeing in the images at the moment. Pass down the wall. It's intercepted by Australia. They bring the ball to Cameron Bump, I can see on screen at the moment. Has possession of it. There's the long pass down in the corner. It looks like Murray skating behind the cage. Looks to pass it by skating to it. They bring it to a free. And there is the buzzer. That is the game. Fantastic effort for the Australian camp. It has been a brilliant tournament for Australia. Almost a clean sweep. Australia winning nearly all of their games except for the draw against Macau last night. Great work from the Australian camp. We are excited. We are very proud. This is going to have big ramifications for the Australian camp basketball next year. I haven't got to get the fine details in it, but you can see the boys cheering. Well deserved too. I'm sure they'll be quite up to tea back in the room tonight after that one. Great. The guys have been training very hard for this for many months. Just pure focus and determination. Congratulations to the Australian players, the Australian team. And thank you very much, and congratulations to all the team managers, the coaches, and all the people that have played the supportive roles in the background. The friends, the family, the parents are involved, anybody who's actually looked at a broadcast, picked up a stick, and handed somebody a pair of skates. Thank you very much. We really appreciate the effort, and I'm sure everybody involved in this. We'd love to thank the efforts of Drew Media as well in this presentation to you. It's been an absolute epic battle. Alistair, you've really pulled out something magic over there in South Korea, and we really appreciate it and thank you for all your work and all your efforts over there. We'd also like to thank Roller Hockey Australia in association with Drew Media. It's been a fantastic broadcast. And so with our name sponsor as well, Joss Sport. Alistair, just a closing word. See if you're available to have a bit of a chat with us.
Yeah, I'm all here, man.
Oh, fantastic. It's nice to have you on screen, Alistair. And as I've been saying to the people out in the broadcast, thank you so much for all the work you've been doing in the background, the work you've been doing in the foreground. It's great to see, and Drew Media's been a fantastic partner to be working with.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Shane. It's just really a pleasure to just be involved with these guys, I mean, they've worked so hard over the last 5 years just to get to this point. This is the first time Australia has ever won an international competition. So this is making a lot of people are going to be taking a lot of notice of what the boys have been up to, and they are really grateful. They've worked really hard, and this is it, man. We are on the road.
Absolutely, and we are now on the road to Barcelona. This is a big one. Now, the scuttlebutt I hear is that we actually, from the results of this games, we're going to be pushed up into the A group. Any traction on that rumour?
Okay, let me just clarify exactly what's going on because there seems to be a lot of confusion. Hang on a second, bud. You caught me off guard.
Yeah, no worries at all. Obviously, Alistair for Drew Media is really extremely busy down there on the floor at the moment, trying to wrap things up for this broadcast.
So the winners,
yes, Alistair?
So the winners of World Skate Asia, we get to be placed in the B group. Okay.
It is the B group. Okay,
yeah.
No worries at all.
So we'll be up against Africa, World Skate African champions, and ranked 5 and 6 of Europe and 7. So there's going to be a lot of, and America. So there's going to be a lot of competition out there. So yeah, it's a great step forward for Australian roller hockey.
It absolutely is, and it's a fantastic role as a result for Australia, as we keep saying. The things have changed within the Australian camp. They've got really serious. The team management have really focusing on to the international arena. They want to make Australia's ranking a lot more higher than it has been in recent years. Really want to push roller hockey and put it at the forefront of the Australian sports psyche, as it were. So really excited that we're going to be interested to see how the boys go with the training camps that are going to be running from now up until Barcelona next year. I'm going to be watching. Everybody's going to be watching very intently, and particularly the podcasts that have been put together by Drew Media. Mr. Blinkhorn there, and congratulations. Great games there, Jimmy. But, it's... oh, excuse me. Absolutely looking forward to it. They're going to be training hard. It's going to be training camps. Going to be looking forward to the games as you are. The podcast coming through from Drew Media. The player interviews. I hopefully will get a chance to get some interviews after the game. The boys up to the tournament.
Yeah.
It's going to be the whole charge and the build-up towards Barcelona. Barcelona is everything here on end.
Yep, absolutely. For all our friends who are watching us out there, just stay tuned. We'll definitely be having a private stream session from the camp. We're getting a bit of one-on-one time with the boys and Steve. So that'll be happening probably in the next half an hour or so. So just keep your eyes peeled on the Roller Hockey Australia Facebook page, because we actually haven't had a lot of time to chat to the team one-on-one. But here's Mr. Pablo. Hey! So, it's been an awesome experience, Shane. I mean, it's been such a privilege to just be a part of this team, and it's just so great. I'm so happy for them. And, we'll be in touch soon, okay, Shane? So we'll see everybody later.
And thank you very much for all the words, the effort you put in there on the field, Alistair. It's Drew Media being fantastic partner to be working with. I'm proud to be working with Drew Media as well and associated with roller hockey and Jot Sport. But we will wind up this broadcast for you this afternoon. Fantastic closing game, Australia versus New Zealand. Australia coming out on top on this one, obviously. And we're looking to the next broadcast, which will be more of a local tournament. Festival of the Stick Part 2, Champions Cup in Brisbane. We'll see you there in a few weeks. But join us on the march towards Barcelona 2019. Thank you very much for watching. And Shane Lee signing out for Drew Media.